It is officially my favorite time of year, spooky season. And if you missed the promo last week, I'm counting down the days to Halloween with a brand new makeup series, The 7 Deadly Sins, sponsored by Deadly Sins Cosmetics. This vampy makeup line has vegan and cruelty-free makeup products that are to die for. Lashes, matte lipsticks, an eyeshadow palette, and a brand new liner pen. And through this series, you'll get to see pretty much all of that. Each week, you'll be getting 3 looks. That's right, 3, that all coordinate with the same deadly sin. An avant-garde beauty look, a look showing off these fantastic matte liquid lipsticks, and a demonic special effects makeup. We're kicking things off with our first sin, lust. So let's get started. Well, it's in theme. We're starting off this look by blocking down our eyebrows. Grab that glue stick and get to work. To help neutralize the color of my eyebrows, I'm going in with a coral color corrector, last layer of powder, and we're good to go. Now we're gonna pop in some pink contact lenses. Now that we've got these contacts in, let's go ahead and prep our skin. I'm starting off with a Rosewater Toner by Burt's Bees. To start to hydrate the skin, I'm going with a vitamin E and ferulic acid face serum. For a little added hydration, I'm going in with a mixture of aloe vera and cocoa butter. Then lastly, I'm taking the Revlon Photo Ready Prime Plus Perfecting and Smoothing Primer and applying that all over my face. Now let's start to build the foundation. I'm dipping into some Clown White Cream to layer that over the top of my brows and give a nice strong highlight. Now when doing foundation, I'm not usually going for a full coverage look. So I like to cut my foundations and concealers with a little bit of vitamin E oil. I'm going to underpaint the highlights and contours on this face, and then take a sheer layer of foundation across the whole thing to even it out. I'm going to add some color back into this, not in a subtle way. Dipping into the Theatrical Rouge palette by Ben Nye, I'm using colors Flame Red and Raspberry to add a really intense blush around the outsides of my face. I'm warming this up a bit by dipping into Dark Tech. Looking hot. Now I'm dipping into my Book of Sins palette by Deadly Sins Cosmetics. I'll be starting with this red shade, and I'm dragging that shade around the outside of my face and in the contours of my nose and eyes to add some more red. So while we have a minute, let's talk about lust. One of the cardinal sins, lust was often associated with greed, envy, mostly because they had to do with longing for something or a deep desire. Lust eventually became specific sexual desire. In most Abrahamic religions, there is a fine line between passion and lust, passion being celebrated and sacred, and lust being sinful. That thin line is typically marriage. While most world religions' views of lust are focused on the dark expressions, such as rape or sex addiction, Abrahamic religions consider any sexual desire or action outside of wedlock to be a sin encompassed within lust. Part of this is because most pagan religions practiced worship through sexual act, where sex among lovers or multiple partners was often considered sacred. In 186 BC, the Roman Senate outlawed several of these acts. This was also in a time when they were outlawing pagan practice. Those sexual practices became not only a sin, but illegal. Now let's repeat this on the other side. And now that we've had a little history lesson, I'm dipping into this crimson shade to deepen some of these contours and add a little bit more emotion to the face. And even though I'm not getting to the lips just yet, I'm going to smudge a little of that red eyeshadow around the outer corners of my lips. Alright, now dipping into my favorite black from the BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette, I'm dragging a little bit of black under my eyes and in my waterline. And I'm going to drag some of that black down in the outer corner. Now a little bit of black on the bridge of the nose into the eyebrows. And I'm going to buff this out with the red from the Book of Sins palette. Now we've still got some details left to do, but I want to go ahead and set my face so that I can highlight. Now that we're good and wet, it's time to get shiny. If you followed my page for a while, you are no stranger to Bitter Lace Beauty. But if you're a new friend, here's your introduction. This series will also be a partnership with Bitter Lace Beauty, and they were kind enough to send me a second Black Magic Book of Shadows palette, adding some of their new spooky shades to my collection. I'll be throwing it back with a limited edition classic, Bloodlust. This spooky shade is going to give us some red metallic sparkle on the outsides of our face. Even though it's not one of the spookier shades, I'm going in with Rose Quartz, also by Bitter Lace Beauty, to add a nice warm highlight. I'm going in with some mascara on my upper and lower lashes, and taking a little bit of black body paint and smudging out a liner towards the outer corner of my eye. And this look is a little soft right now, actually, and I want it to be more sinful. So I'll be dipping into my Deadly Sins matte liquid lipsticks and adding some messy abstract texture on the face. Of course, we'll be dipping into Luxuria for Lust, but we'll also be using the shade Apparitia because it's a nice rich red. These liquid lip shades are awesome. They dry to matte very quickly and they have superior staying power. Alright, we're pretty much done. I'm just gonna add a little bit of color to my hair and we'll be all done. And this is the finished look. But now we are headed to set to do a full photo shoot.